Hi, and welcome to the Shoot from the Heart podcast with me, Diane Bell. If you want to write a script, make a movie, or quite simply live an abundant and creatively fulfilled life, you are in the right place. Each week I'll share with you tips, techniques, and real-world information that will inspire and empower you on your path. Thank you so much for joining me. I am rooting for you all the way. Let's do this. Hello, gorgeous souls of Instagram. How are you today? I am Diane Bell, and I'm coming to you live on my Shoot from the Heart 1 page. I am so excited to be here today. There's so many things happening in my world. There's so many things that I'm excited to share with you. And I really want to have a conversation with you today about creating a big breakthrough. Because what I see is that a lot of people are like dying for their big break. It's like, how do I do it? I've done the work. I've put in the hours. I've really mastered my craft. I'm building my business, whatever it is. And now I'm ready to just break through to that whole other level. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. How you actually set up the situation that you can make a massive breakthrough. Now, if you're coming on here live, I would love to say hello to you. Okay, so I'm going to dive into this today because this is actually going to be the podcast for this week. But what I wanted to talk about is really how we create a big break. So let's dive into this. It's normal on our path to big goals, to making magical things happen, that we go through periods where we feel stuck and like nothing is moving. And we'll go through certain periods where it feels like, oh my God, I'm learning so much, I'm growing so much. And then it's like plateau and it's like, oh my God, I don't know how to get to the next stage. And so we master one level and we get to that level, but now we're stuck at that level. For me, with the screenwriting journey, for instance, just writing a screenplay at first seemed like an impossible goal. Eventually I did it and it was like, I can write a screenplay, but now it's like, how do I sell it? And it's like another task. It's another challenge. It's another way to have a breakthrough. So it's normal that we keep hitting plateaus and we keep hitting different stages on our journey to epic success that feel like blocks. Now, in my life, not that long ago, I woke up one day, it was actually the day after my 46th birthday, and I had a bit of a hangover and I really looked at my life. I didn't feel good. I had a bit of a headache. I didn't feel great. And I was like, I am not happy with my life right now. I had been under earning for quite a while and I was stressed out. I was very anxious. Things just didn't feel good. My life did not feel good. And I did not like the direction it felt like it was heading in. I was like, oh my gosh, I am 46 now. I'm heading to 50 and this doesn't feel like I'm on a good path at all. And I really decided then I got to do something. And my own instinct told me, in your soul, what you need to do. My immediate thought was, I've got to look at the times in my life that I created incredible results and figure out what I was doing. What was I believing? Who was I being? How did I make those things happen? Because previously in my life, I'd created some incredible results. For instance, there was a time that I sold my first screenplay within a year of completing it. Most people say that's impossible. Most people say you've got to write 3 screenplays before you do that, and you've got to be doing it for 5 years. And it was literally within a year I had sold it. It didn't make sense. And then almost immediately after that, I got hired by an A-list director, by the director of Die Hard, for heaven's sakes, to rewrite a film with him. Again, this what? I had written 1 screenplay at this point. Imagine being hired by the director of Die Hard to rewrite a script with him when you've got written 1 screenplay in your whole life. But that's what happened to me, right? It's like, what? What just happened? And by the way, after we rewrote that one, he hired me to write an original screenplay with him. So it went well, right? I got hired again. Then there was a time that I made my first film. Now, I'd never made a short film before. I hadn't been to film school, but I decided to do it. I decided to make it happen. I went all in. I made the film. And not only did I just make the film, not only did I just raise $140,000, which to me was mind-blowing. By the way, $140,000 seemed like a fortune to me. And the fact that I raised it was and I made the movie and it got selected to play in Sundance. WTF, right? That particular year, 1.6% of films that had been submitted got selected. 1.6. It's how's this happen? This doesn't make sense. I didn't know anyone. I had no stars in the movie. We didn't have any connections, but it got selected for Sundance. Then it won 2 awards at Sundance to make it even crazier, right? There it is in Sundance against movies that have, 20 times the budget and so much experience, and it won 2 awards. Doesn't make sense. So I knew that I had done this before. I knew I could do things that didn't make sense. And if you know anything about me, you'll know that what I am interested in life isn't really like predictable, boring, conventional results. I really am here for the big dreams, for the crazy, wild things, the things that don't make sense. That ignites my soul. So my question to myself at the age of 46, when I was not feeling good about my life, was what was I doing then that made those things possible? Now, I slowly honed it down to a 7-step process. And today I'm sharing that process. And I'm not going to go through it all in this session. It would be far too much. But I have recorded a whole program on those 7 steps. And I have released it today, and you can purchase it today. And it's $11 right now. Okay. So it's a no-brainer. It's not a big investment. It's $11. I just wanted to price it so it's accessible for anyone who wants to learn this. But in that, you will learn the 7 aligned steps to create epic success. And these were the things that I identified. And I thought, okay, if I applied these, could I create the results again? Could I make magic happen? Could I make a miracle happen? Within a year, I went from earning 0 to earning like 20K a month with my business. That makes like no sense. Again, it's like that sort of result. You're like, that doesn't make sense. It would take you years to build it up to that. No, it took me less than a year. And within no time at all, I bought a house. For the first time in my life, I was able to buy a house. And for the first time, and so many things happened. And it was like all because I actually just applied these 7 steps. Now, today, I just want to give you a few like pointers in the direction. And as I say, if you want to get those 7 steps, they are available now, and you can find it in my links, or you can find it in my stories, or you can DM me after this and I will make sure that you get the link for it. But it's available for $11. It's so accessible. This is not a big investment at all, and it's so worth it. But I want to give you like an overview of 3 things to focus on if you want to create a breakthrough in your life. And these are probably the most essential things. If you're like, okay, I'm in this place right now where I do feel a little bit stuck, where things aren't really moving. I feel like I work and I still don't get what I want. Does anybody feel that? Have you ever had that where you just feel like I'm working and I'm not, and I don't really know when I'm going to see results? Come on, let's do this, right? Because I'm doing everything I can. So if you feel that at all, I want to give you these 3 things today, the ultimate 3 things to focus on that will move the needle. And they're probably 3 things that you don't expect. Because what I know to be true is that creating a big breakthrough is never about hustling more, striving more, pushing more. In fact, often those things repel it. And I know that goes against all logical, conventional wisdom, because everything you've been taught is if you want a big break, you've got to work harder than everybody else. But the truth is, when we're just in that mode of, if I just do more, right? If I show up more, if I make more, if I just got to push through this, that energy is an energy of fear, and it's always going to repel what you want. So let's talk about what you should focus on. Okay? What will actually create a shift. The first thing you got to do is just be willing to be curious about where you are and be willing to see things differently. Now, this is a tough one because we get really locked into our path and our understanding of the world and our vision of it. And we're like, this is how it is. This is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to work. This is how I'm going to do it. But I guarantee you, friend, that whatever results you're getting right now in your life and wherever you feel like stuck and like, why am I stuck here? It's because of who you're being. Reality that you are experiencing right now is always and without fail a reflection of what you have believed up until this point, what you have been thinking, because it's those things that are fueling your actions, that are fueling your results. If we can just get curious and actually just say to yourself, I'm willing to see this differently. I am willing to see this differently. What do I need to learn? Where do I need to grow? What could I do differently? Innovate. Don't just be doing the same thing over and expecting a different result. That is literally the definition of insanity. And that's not my quote. I don't know who said that first, but some genius said it. Doing the same thing over and expecting a different result is literally the definition of insanity. And yet this is what so many of us do when we're trying to create that big breakthrough. We're like thinking the same thoughts, believing the same beliefs, being the same person, doing the same things, and somehow expecting that's going to create the big breakthrough. So my invitation to you today is, if you want that big breakthrough, how can I see this differently?
What could I do differently? What could I try that I haven't tried before? What approach could I take that I have never taken before? Now, for me, when it's come to creating big breakthroughs, this has been such an important one, the willingness to see things differently. When I changed my life at the age of 46, oh my gosh, I just put it all on the line. I was like, I am willing to give up my most cherished beliefs about the world to change my life. Like beliefs I have carried through all my adult life. I am going to question them. I'm going to challenge them and be willing to see things differently. Because I know that in order to get different results, in order to create a different reality for myself, I've got to change inside first. So always, when we want to create a big breakthrough, when we want to create a result that we've never had before in our lives, we've got to get out of our own way and we've got to think, who do I need to become on the inside to make that result my life? Now, at that point for me, when I just turned 46, and I was like, I want to change my life. And I was like, okay, I'm willing to see things differently. And immediately things came to me, like, what do I have to do differently? Who do I need to be? And when I thought about like me as a really successful, abundant human, certain things came through for me. For instance, at that time in my life, I was like, Diane, that version of you doesn't drink alcohol. And that was like a hard one because I was like, ooh, I like having a glass of wine in the evening. But I really was like, okay, if that's what it's going to take, I'm going to do it. So you see here the second part of this in a way, and this is still point number one. This is still being willing to learn, being willing to grow, being willing to see things differently, but it is also following through with it. It's not just seeing the things differently, but actually deciding to do the things differently. So for me at that point, it was like, okay, I'm having this download that in order to change my life, I have to stop drinking. I'm going to stop. And I did, which is crazy because if you'd known me all my life, you'd be like, Diane would never stop drinking. I stopped drinking alcohol, right? Like, and at first I just said, I'm going to do it for 3 months and I'll see what happens. But I would say for you to create that big breakthrough in your life, there's something in your life probably right now that you've got to let go of. There's something in your life, a habit, a way of being that you're like, this really doesn't fit with that version of myself who has done the damn thing, right? But I want you to be honest with yourself. Because that's what's going to create your breakthrough. When you decide to shift into the person, the version of you who has already done the damn thing, you're going to make that breakthrough happen real fast. When you're willing to release the things you've held on to, when you're willing to let go of who you've been in the past, and that's hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, that's hard. When I wanted to make my film, and I'd never made a movie before, and I hadn't been to film school or any of those things, and I had a lot of money issues, like a lot of money issues. But one of the things that I had to let go of was my fear of asking for money. I knew that in order to get my film made, to make my movie, I was going to have to like learn how to do that, and I was going to do it. I was going to become a person who would be comfortable asking for money to make a movie. It felt terrifying. I was not a person who was comfortable asking for money. Do you see how this works? So it's who do you need to be to have already done the thing, and how do I become that person now? What skills do I need to learn? What habits do I need to release? What new ways of thinking do I need to embrace? What ways of thinking do I need to transform? It's all of those things. And if you do those things, then you will create the foundations for having that breakthrough. Now, the second thing that I have here for things to focus on if you want to create the breakthrough is be in a good state of energy. Prioritize your energy. And I will give you heads up, this is one of the steps in the 7 aligned steps to epic success. This is one of them. This is so important. I cannot stress this enough. If you want magical, miraculous things to happen for you, you've got to be in a good state of energy. And that means being in an energy of trust. That means being in an energy of flow. That means actually feeling good in your body and moving energy. Stagnant energy is going to keep you stagnant. If you feel sort of blah every day, you're like blah, and everything feels sort of blah, you're not going to move things. It's not going to change. I honestly can say that every time I've created massive shifts in my life, that those epic results have come through, I have been in a very good state of energy. I've been practicing yoga every single day, right? I've been practicing my gratitude every single day. I felt generally happy. Now, does this mean my life is perfect and that I'm positive all the time? Oh, fuck no, right? That's like some sort of unicorn belief. Like that doesn't exist. That does not exist. And it's not necessary. but it's just your general energetic setting. Are you generally in a good energetic state? If you're not, don't beat yourself up about it, but choose to make that happen. And it is a choice. There are so many things you can do to elevate your energy. And I'm just going to give you a few simple ones. And it might be like, Diane, this is so simple, this is so obvious. But really, it's always about the simple things that we sometimes forget to overlook. We're so busy going after our dreams, we forget these basic things. What are they? They're like, nourish yourself, eat food that makes you feel good, right? Don't eat the food that makes you heavy and makes you stagnant. Eat food that fuels you with light energy. Move your body every day. Commit to that. It doesn't have to be a massive 2-hour workout. 30 minutes, just say 30 minutes. I'm going to move my body every day. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to dance. I'm going to exercise, but I'm going to shift energy in my body. So important. Next, other things that help you cultivate good energy, being around people who have good energy, being around people who lift you up. So important, right? Notice in your day-to-day life where you lose energy. Notice where it's just bringing you down, whether it's people you hang out with, whether it's accounts you follow on social media, whether it's the media that you consume, like movies that you consume, TV that you consume, documentaries that you watch, books that you read. If you are consuming a lot of things a lot of the time that weigh you down, that make you feel angsty, that make you feel angry, you've got to clean it up. Your energy is everything. Your energy is the key to your breakthrough. When you are in a good energetic state and you basically feel you feel alive, right? You feel alive, you feel excited about life, you feel excited about what's coming, I promise you're on the verge of your breakthrough. But if you're in a state where it's just, everything feels like a drag, everything's hard, everything's heavy, everything's doubt, everything's worry, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And as I said, this is a choice. So if you desire to create a breakthrough, if you're I'm done with being stuck where I am, choose to prioritize your energy. I want to be clear about just one thing. It's always a little PS to this kind of conversation. This is not about fake positivity. This is not about spiritual bypassing. This is not about pretending to be happy when things are actually really challenging in our lives. This is not about beating ourselves up because we are facing some challenge that is bringing us down. And now it's oh my God, now I can't make a breakthrough because I don't feel good. This is not about those things. You're human and you're having a human experience. And part of the human experience is hard. It's experiencing challenges, it's experiencing grief, loss, heartache, sickness, aging, all the things. You're going to experience hard things that will make you sad. And that is okay. And they make you angry and they make you regretful, make you all the things. What matters though too is that you learn to process those feelings so that you are not repressing them and holding on to them and letting them become stagnant blocks in your energy field. We want to process and shift things through us. So if you are actually feeling some sadness, some anger, whatever it is, let yourself freaking feel it and let it move through you. Okay, that's what will actually clear your energy field a lot faster than trying to avoid it. Trying to avoid it, I shouldn't feel depressed, so I'm not going to allow myself to feel depressed is not the way. I feel depressed today and I'm going to take care of my depression is absolutely the way. Right? I'm going to take care of my anxiety. I'm going to take care of my stress. I'm going to take care of my worry. I'm going to sit here and actually let myself feel it without hiding from it, without buffering it, right? But actually be present to it and look after it and feel it. And that's one of the ways that we really take care of our energy too. Okay, so that's number 2 is be in a good state of energy. And the first one, if you joined us late, hello. The first one is be willing to learn, be willing to grow, be willing to see things differently. Now, the third thing that I have today, if you desire to create a big breakthrough in your life, is you've got to trust yourself. You've got to trust your instincts. You've got to trust your ability to make that breakthrough happen. You've got to trust that the world is a kind place in which breakthroughs can happen for someone like you. You've got to drop into total radical trust. Now, this can be a hard one for many of us because we are so conditioned to doubt. We are so conditioned to look for why it's not working, why it won't work. We are so conditioned to look to the negative. There are actually studies on this, the negativity bias. it's called, right? The human being, designed to look for the scary thing. So obviously this served a purpose in caveman times and for many times, right? That if we were just looking at all the good things and we're just like, oh, butterflies, flowers, amazing, we don't see the dangers coming and suddenly we're killed by the snake, right? So we have this for a reason. It's to help us survive this thing that we're like always looking at the negative. But what if I try that and it doesn't work? What if I do the thing and it doesn't get me anywhere? What if it never happens for me? What if, and it's like we get ourselves into these downward spirals. We talk ourselves out of taking action that could actually change our lives. So my invitation to you is make awareness of your level of trust in yourself. Make it your habit to trust your instincts, to turn inside, to look for inner guidance within, for whatever it is that you're deciding to do, whatever move you're making, and then trust what comes through you in your body, in your mind, in your soul. We live in an age where it's like we've decided to outsource our power to every expert there is. There's experts for frickin' everything. Experts for how we should feed our babies or how we should put them to sleep. There's experts for everything you can think of. There's an expert for it telling us how to do it. But I believe in your heart of hearts, your next step, you know what you need to do. You know what will get you there faster. You know what you need to release, what you need to transform. You know. So why don't you claim your freaking power and trust yourself? Stop doubting yourself. You're a freaking genius, my friend. Like you are the expert of your life. You are the bomb. You are it. You're the one. You're the whole freaking deal. Start acting like it. Stop like going, oh, but what if I did that and it didn't work? If you did it, it's probably going to work because you got your own back. You're going to do this. Now, when you step up to that level of power in yourself, where you just decide, like every move I make is the right move. Imagine if you believe that every move you make is the right move. I do actually believe that about myself. And it's what enables me to move fast, to make big moves, to take big risks, because I trust myself. And that trust is what creates those big breakthroughs. When you just radically, completely trust yourself and trust that you will be okay no matter what, you are on the path to your big breakthrough. Because your big breakthrough requires you to do things you've never done before. Your big breakthrough probably requires you to do some things that scare the living daylights out of you. And if you don't step into full trust of yourself and your ability to hold yourself, even if you make a move and it doesn't work, is what's stopping you from getting where you want to go. So the next time you're about to make a move and then you're like, oh no, and you put on the brakes, notice it. Don't beat yourself up for it, but go, why don't I trust myself here? For instance, when I invested in a coach, the first time I invested in a one-to-one coach, it was a $12,000 investment. And I sent $12,000 from my bank account in one single payment. And there was a moment where I was like, oh God, this feels terrifying. Like, what if it doesn't work? And I went, wait a second. Of course it's going to work because it's me. I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my results, not this person I'm about to pay. This is not about me outsourcing my power to my coach so that they're suddenly responsible for me. I'm responsible. And if I decide this is going to work for me, it's going to work for me. Too many people are outsourcing their power. And that's why your big break will never come. Because you think the big break is going to come through this magic wand, this magic bullet, this magic answer, and it's not. It's going to come from you. And it doesn't come like, it's not that you don't get insights from other places. Oh my God. Get the insights from other places. But trust yourself. Trust in your ability to make magic happen. Trust your ability to make the big breakthrough happen. Because you got this. Ultimately, I believe that whatever you truly dream of, and I always use that word truly very particularly in that sentence, whatever you truly dream of is meant for you. I believe those dreams that are like in your heart, they're in your heart for a reason. And it is safe to trust them. They are meant for you. That's why they give you all the tingles. That's why they light you up and make you excited. So your choice in life is like, do you step up and claim them? Do you step up and trust yourself enough to make the bold moves to actually make it happen? And if you do, you're going to make it happen. It's inevitable. And it's that energy of trust, that energy of faith, that energy of, I know I can make this happen, that ultimately is the magic secret sauce. So those are the three things that I wanted to share with you today, right? 3 ways to make sure that you create the big breakthrough that you desire. The first is be willing to grow, be willing to learn, be willing to see things differently. The second one is look after your energy. make it your priority to keep your energy good. And the third one was trust yourself. Now, I do have a sort of like additional little bonus one that I just want to share, which is surround yourself with people who believe. As much as possible, be around people who actually believe you can do the thing that you want to do. Be around people who are doing the thing you want to do. Get in rooms where people have done the thing you want to do. The more that you're around that and the more that you normalize it, the quicker that breakthrough comes. Quite often we have those big breakthroughs on some big pedestal. It's like, oh my God, if I could do that, would be so amazing, but it's so hard. And look at those people who have done it. They're so amazing. They're so talented. They're so gifted. They're so special. They're so beautiful and charismatic and special. And that keeps it away from us because we've got them on a pedestal. We've got the whole goal on a pedestal. When you get around people who have done it, it starts to just feel normal. And this is so important. So I want you to like feel that even with me, because if you're here with me today and there's some big breakthrough, like you want to sell a script, you want to make a movie that gets in Sundance, you want to build a business that makes 6 figures really fast. If you want anything like that, I've done it. I've normalized it because I'm not special. I am not special in any way. I'm just somebody who's been willing to take some risks. I've been willing to believe. I've been willing to grow. I've been willing to learn. I've got myself in rooms with people who have done it before me. And that's what's created that strength in me. And I've developed this muscle. I've built this muscle. I've dedicated myself to it. So, stick around, hang out with me. It will rise you up. You calibrate to my frequency. You calibrate to my certainty because I know you can create whatever you truly desire. I know that. I don't doubt that. There's not one bit of doubt in me that you can create whatever you truly desire. And that's why it's in your heart. So hang out with me and let's make it happen. It's all those stories that we create about the people that do get to do this and what they look like. I know that stopped me for a while, like with writing in general. I thought I was too young and I didn't have anything to say. Who would listen to what I had to say? You're never too young. You're never too old. You're exactly the right age. And this is absolutely it. And being around people who have done the thing, who are doing the thing so that you know it's possible. You keep going. You keep learning. You keep growing. And these things that I will share with you today, it's not like we do them once and we do it for 6 months. We're like, I'll give it 6 months and see if it works. You got to be in it for as long as it takes. Like, just be like, this is it. This is what I'm doing with my life. This is what I'm going to get. And this is what I'm going to make happen. And then you continue on that path. Now, before I wrap up, just a few things that are coming up that I want to make sure you know about so that if you feel called to be a part of any of them, you will be a part of them. The first thing is on Friday, I'm doing a free live screenwriting class. This is the 4 keys to writing a standout screenplay. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's also going to be a lot of information. So if you want to write a screenplay, if you're like, you haven't written the screenplay, you want to write a screenplay, if you're trying to write a screenplay, like you're halfway through it, but it's a little bit sticky or it's taking longer than you wanted. If you're anywhere in that part of the journey, I invite you to come to that. You can go to dianebell.com/keys. Okay, dianebell.com/keys, or you can find the link in my stories. It's been repeated quite a few times. So dianebell.com/keys, and you can sign up. And we're doing that on Friday. I can't wait. It's going to be super fun. The other thing is today, I just dropped this brand new program called the 7 Steps to Epic Success, the 7 aligned steps. And that was an important thing because I was like, this is not about just like work hard. This is like the 7 aligned steps. So get this little program. I am selling it today for $11. This is the steal of the century. So I will put the link in here. Make sure you get it and get in there. If you didn't get my email about it, that means you're not on my email list. So you should be on my email list. So get on my email list, all right? But I will put the link in here and you can get that. So it's $11 today and it will give you so much information. And if you apply those steps, you will create any success in any area of your life if you desire to do it. Come to the 4 keys to writing a standout screenplay. It will be awesome. All my free classes are awesome. Come on. Now, the last thing is, I have been like quietly revving up. I have another Instagram page. Does anyone know that? I have another Instagram page. It's called @IamDianeBell. And this is an Instagram page. It's much more personal in a way. It's much more about me, my life, and also about how to actually really live your dream life. It's a page that's very much dedicated to feminine energetics. So especially if you're a woman, you want to get over there, to creating success, to blowing our own minds with what's possible for us, to building incredible businesses, all of that kind of thing. So if you're not following me at @IamDianeBell, you might want to do that. There's going to be some big things coming over there very soon. And as I said, this page, Shoot from the Heart, is all screenwriting, filmmaking with a dose of mindset to succeed, because I think it's crucial. I think it's essential we have these conversations. But it is like dedicated to that. My other Instagram page at I am Diane Bell. Follow me over there for all the other stuff. It's just the pure mindset. It's the pure energetics. It's the pure strategy to create dream lives. That's what that's about. So if you don't follow me there, do follow me there. And as I say, we are going to be doing something really cool later this month. I'm so excited. And I have a bunch of stuff coming over there. So it's going to be super exciting. All right, my dears, that's it. That's what I have for you today. I hope that you don't just listen to this and think that was a nice way to start my day. That was some fun tips from Diane about creating a big breakthrough. I hope that you actually just write those things down, those 3 main points, and think about them, reflect on them, and then think about how you want to integrate them into your life. Information is nothing without implementation and integration. And it's easy for us to just be consumers of motivational, inspirational content. Be like, oh, this is great. This makes me feel inspired. This is great. Feeling inspired is wonderful. It's an important thing. But actually doing the do is just as important. So please take what I've shared today and apply it to your life. Think about it. Think about where you are stuck and where you need to grow and where you need to let go of things. Like, do it. Take an inventory of yourself. What do you need to let go of today? What do you need to start doing today? Do it. Right? No excuses. Think about how you raise your energy and make your energy better, how you let yourself feel better day to day. And finally, think about how you can trust yourself more, because that's really the key to it all. All right, my loves, thank you so much for being here. Merci beaucoup. Keep going. Get your dream out there. You're going to make it happen. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. And I hope to see you in the 7 aligned steps to epic success. Let's do it. All right, see you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. I know you can listen to so many different podcasts, so it really means the world to me that you chose to listen to this. If you've enjoyed this and you've had any value out of this podcast at all, can I ask a little favor? Could you please share it on social media or go to wherever you're listening to it and leave a review so that other people can find it? I really, really appreciate it so much. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you the next one. If you want to get in touch at any point, send me a message, support@dianebell.com, and also check out my website, dianebell.com, and see what I'm up to. Hopefully I'll see you in the social medias. Take care, and I'll see you next time.